Tourism as an industry has become one of the fastest growing industries with technology. Advanced people are interacting with much essence world has been turned into evidence. This global spread of tourism has produced economic and employment benefits in many related sectors. So, in this video, we'll cover the basic concept of tourism and tourists, different forms of tourism, and the linkage between this tourism form. Talking about the etymology of tourism, the word tourism is derived from the word tour, which derives from Old English turian, adapted from Latin word coordinator, which is itself taken from ancient Greek word terminals, which means a circular trap in which starting and end point is same. Just like in trust, we start from our home and after visiting different places we return back at starting point that is our home. Adding suffix is m to the word to present a process of circular movement which starts with leaving home from travel and then come back at the same place. While adding the suffix is denoted the person who got for traveling and called tourist, but still there are a number of ways tourism can be defined, and for this reason the United Nations World Tourism Organization that an WTO definition is globally accepted. It says tourism comprises all the activities of person traveling to and staying outside their usual environment for more than one consecutive year, but not less than 24 hours for leisure and other purposes not related to the exercise of activity demonstrated from within the place visited. We can conclude this definition into three parts. First one is displacement outside. The residential place is traveled to move out of his permanent residence to the other place. Second, traveling purposes travels mustn't include himself into any revenue grinding activity, or his purposes should be non-commercial and only for travel. Third one is travel time. A traveler should stay outside for at least one overnight, that's 24 hours, and he can stay up to 1 year at any destination. Talking about it on WTO, it's the leading international organization in the field of tourism that promotes tourism as a traveler of economic growth, inclusive development and environmental subtracting development and environmental sustainability, and also for sport to tourism places worldwide. For the best only moment of tourism on WTO, give three basic forms of tourism. In domestic tourism, tourists travels only within his own country, like a resident of India travels in another part of India only, will be called a domestic tourist, and this process is called domestic tourism. Next, inbound tourism, in which a non-resident tourist visits within the country of reference. For example, assume yourself as a resident for Indians, and any tourist visiting India from another country will be called inbound tourist, and this process will be called inbound tourism. The third form is outbound tourism, where the resident of a country travel outside his country to another part of the world. For example, if a resident of India travel outside India to another country, then he will be an outbound tourist for all Indian, and this process will be outbound tourism. To understand the economic benefits of different forms of tourism based on their moment, you need to have fair idea about the linkage between these tourism forms. These forms are further combined into three categories. First one is internal tourism, mean moment of residing or non-resident tourism within the country of reference, which comprises the domestic as well as inbound tourism. For example, an Indian or foreigner tourist travel to any part of India will be considered internal tourism for India. Second one is international tourism, which comprises of domestic tourism, and outbound tourism means a resident of India either visited other parts of India or go outside to travel other parts of the world will be considered as national tourism. International tourism comprises all inbound and outbound tourists, mean the moment of tourists outside his country or reside. Here is a summary of the matter discussed in this video. And now let's start some definitions. Definition of tourism. UNWTO define tourism as activities of persons traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one constructive year for leisure, business, and other purposes. And this definition includes the word staying and suggests that tourists stay at least one night, and tourists are the visitors staying at least 24 hours in the country visited, and the purposes of his journey can be classified under one of the following headings: leisure, recreation, holiday, health study, religion and sports, business, family mission meeting. And exclusion. Persons traveling on holiday for a period of less than 24 hours are treated as excursionists, and they are temporary visitors staying less than 24 hours in the country visited. Included travels on crisis of visitors. Visitor denoted the person visiting a country other than that in which he has his usual place of residence for any reason other than following a occupation remunerated from within a country visited, as if his or her trip include an overnight stay there, treats as tourists or otherwise same-day visitors or excursionists.